Hey, it's Jay in the workshop today. I this week wanted to show you something that I do a lot of actually. So instead of my usually flailing around trying a new project, I figured I'd show you there are some things I know how to do. So I wanted to build dice. It's one of the main things that I sell in my shop is building other people's dice for them. So kind of wanted to give you an idea of what that process is on a jumbo D20 that I am making as a surprise secret for a friend. So let's get started. This is my intro song, why don't you sing along? Hey, let's see what's up this week, Shop J. How about them production values? Step one on designing dice is designing a logo. Now, the friend that I'm designing this die for has the moniker Dead Coral Dice. I did not find a logo on any of their stuff, so I set out to design one. And I just wanted to do a bit of coral that looked a little bit like a skull, and this is kind of where we ended up. Super cute. The next step is to boot up OpenSCAD and the Poly Dice Generator mod that I have with it, and set it to just do a D20, and then we got to update the fonts. My font is my symbol font that I build, and then I just chose at random a really cute font. I set my text depth a little bit deeper because I like sanding it better when I'm not worried about sanding off the numbers. And then you can see that's the font I built with the logo on it. So I just need to put the corresponding letter map right in there, and you can see it popped that logo right on the dice. And just a little bit of adjustments, and we are good to go to put it up in the slicer next. There are a few things we need to do in the slicer. We need to resize it so it's jumbo. We need to get it on its point. Rotate it so that its point is downward like that, so that I can build these fins along each edge. And what those do is they keep the edges straight on the bottom there, because otherwise you end up with a little bit of wibble wobble and a loss of resolution. And you can see here they printed out great. I just got to pop those little sprues off, and you can see it turned out really lovely. We just need to put a little rubbing alcohol on a towel just to clean off the rest of that resin, and then we are ready to start. Now, milling the dice is by far the longest step, and that's because we need to get every single face flat, and we need to fix up any imperfections. Now, how do I keep track of which face I'm on? I just remember because I've done it a million times, but that's another trick you can use. A little bit of Sharpie on the face and then it sands off, but that's how you can keep track of which faces you've already sanded. The next step is to look for the flaws and imperfections that need just a little bit of buildup on them, just a little UV resin to fill them in. And these aren't particularly visible. I've just done it a lot so I can see exactly what I'm looking for around the numbers. You can see there's kind of a little shadow there, and that is actually just a little divot that I'm going to fill in and sand flat again. And the better I do on this step, the easier the rest of these steps go. The D20 is also the one that takes the longest of all of the dice, and that's a pretty obvious reason. You can tell it's because it's got 20 sides. All the rest of the dice are far less. Now, recently I did get someone ask if I could look into making a D100, and I told them I wasn't polishing that. This D20 alone took like 45 minutes to do up. First we have up the green Zona papers, which are 30 grit, equivalent to about 800 grit, actually 30 microns, 800 grit. And then we're going to go through every level of the specialty polishing papers, these Zona papers. So we've got green, gray, the blue here, and you can see it's getting increasingly translucent and polished the farther we go. The pink level is where we really start getting into polishing versus shaping, so you see a lot more drastic difference after the pink, and you can see it's actually starting to refract light through it. It's so well polished. And then we have the blue paper here, and that's going to be very close to done. The logo looks fantastic. And then we have white, which is the final polishing. That is 1 micron. It's super fine. And you can see there we have a very shiny D20. All right, and that is just the process to do a single D20. And the kind of funny thing is that size doesn't matter. This D20 is going to take just as long as this D20 took, because it's really about the faces. You see, I have to hit every single face on the way, so timing-wise, just about the same. Now, the D20 takes the longest. The other dice go faster because they have fewer sides, pretty straightforward there. But as you can see, it is a really beautiful high polish, high shine. You can see right through it. It refracts light if I let a sunbeam hit it. They're basically lovely little crystals at this point. And yeah, that's the process, okay? If you want to see more maker content from me, of course, you have to hit the like, you have to hit the subscribe, you have to hit the little bell, a whole shebang. But I hope to see you back here next week. In the meantime, please take your meds, because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't come watch my videos. So self-interest for the win. And if we make nothing else, all we need to do is make it a great day, all right? Thanks so much for watching. Bye. Gotta give a quick shout out to my homies over at my Patreon, patreon.com/jdot. Without these people, I would not be making these videos, so it's absolutely incredible the way they help out. Go on over and check out the rewards you can get every month, but in the meantime, remember, shop hot, shop jdot.